Because I want you to remember what happened.
I do remember.
And I feel like you don't.
Oh my God.
Boom, boom. Wine splash, hair pulling.
This is not something they made. This is some professional, like, and this is in different areas.
It wasn't physical.
Meredith is completely unhinged.
What's up, y'all? It's Brian Keith, and I'm back with another video. And today we're gonna be talking about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Y'all, I'm y'all gonna hate me on this episode because I feel like I'm not gonna have the same POV that you guys have. Sorry. I just see certain things a little bit differently, and I feel like we're gonna have different opinions. But y'all, like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
Let me check my shit real quick. Hotter than the fire coming out my flame. And if you wanna play with me, you can't play in me. On the playground, bitch, you can't play with me. Got it, want it, securing the bag.
First and foremost, I want to start by saying that, y'all, I'm supposed to be in Las Vegas right now. BravoCon, you already know I was gonna go ahead of time, go to BravoCon. You know, I was gonna get a ticket secure. However, the situation happened with my mom where I had to go to North Carolina last week, and I used some time off. So, with that being said, I have to prioritize my time at work, PTO, all those things, and I can't go to BravoCon this year. I am so irritated. But it is what it is, because regardless of the fact, like I said before, my mom comes before anything. So I'll be trying to do some updates and whatever reviews that I can find. I know Peacock is doing a special where they're going to be broadcasting BravoCon and some of the panels. So if any panels that I see, I will talk about it. And if I see anything on TikTok, you already know I got y'all. But the reason why I said that I feel like we're going to have a difference of opinions is because I'm personally not on Brittany's side. You know, I don't subscribe to bullying. That's not really my thing, you know. However, with Brittany, it's like you antagonize and poke. And I always tell people is you can't do something to me and then dictate how I do something back to you. It might be worse. And I'm not saying it's right. Two wrongs don't make a right. But it damn for sure make me feel good. Episode starts where we left off. All the girls are over here, you know, kumbaya. It's the morning. It's the last day. They're on the boat. You know, we are privy to the fact that Whitney and Brittany are talking about the whole situation that had happened about Brittany bringing up Seth, adultery, mistress, Uber, TikTok. Cool.
I saw something on TikTok today about Seth having a mistress.
Meredith, she played it off. She was upset at that time. It was what it was. And she's very upset, whereas like sometimes it leans towards like where there's smoke, there's fire, Meredith. But hey, whatever. So they get to that lunch, and Meredith is basically saying, you know, people are lying and people are doing these things, and you know, I don't even believe nothing that she has to say. Talk about Brittany. She's real in her bag. She's like flipping her hair on Brittany. Brittany's like, I don't lie. But I think that you're upset with me. You're not upset with anyone else. Meredith says, look, first of all, I'm not talking to you. But then she says, you know who I'm upset with, though?
Whitney, I'm upset with you.
Because why the fuck is she over here chit-chatting with you? And, you know, this and the third, y'all looking at this and blah, blah, blah. Whitney was like,
Brittany, I can take over this.
Brittany's like, no, Whitney, like, she shouldn't bring you in. And she's like,
No. Brittany, it's so simple for me to explain. So Meredith, I tried to give Brittany 3 options. Either you tell Meredith, I tell Meredith, or we explain.
But she basically said she gave her 3 options to try to basically get ahead, and you take the responsibility of telling Meredith what the fuck is going on. So I guess that's what Brittany's opportunity was that night.
Because it's not true. So don't acknowledge it. Either you tell Meredith or I tell Meredith.
That sufficed to Meredith, and Meredith was like, okay, cool. That's cool. Great, whatever. My whole thing is this. For me, it doesn't suffice shit. Because at the end of the day, I always say this. Why is this bitch that I don't like, why is she comfortable going to you talking shit about me? Why is she so comfortable going to you talking about some shit to me? Brittany, if you really wanted to bridge a gap with Meredith, you could have easily brought it to Meredith instead of bringing it to Whitney and then want to have a gotcha moment. That's all it was. But at the end of the day, Brittany, you did what you did, and it was what it was. So the retaliation of that, Bronwyn had an idea about throwing the unicorn in the water. Meredith was like, cool, let's do it. Threw the unicorn in the water.
2, 3. Free uni!
Brittany got so distraught, and Brittany's just like, oh my God, I can't believe you guys would do that. Who did that? Meredith was like, it was me, but it was Brahman's idea. Brahman's like, we thought it was just such a joke. It's nothing really crazy. My whole thing, I said it before, I said it in the last 2 episodes. Brahman, you don't fuck with her. You don't like her.
You don't like her. You don't fucking like her.
You don't like her. So at the end of the day, save the song and dance for another bitch. Just say, girl, I don't like you. I did it because I don't like you. It is what it is. You're being a bitch. You're being a mean girl. You're being a bully. That's what it was. Meredith, you too. Like, that's what it is. But y'all got your lip back. Like, Meredith, you got your lip back from what Brittany did. Cool. Everything should be square. Good to go. So we see this producer cut. Tone it on. I'm like, hold on. So the plane's off. All the girls are narrating like what happened in the plane.
They're talking about Meredith. You know, she got onto the plane. Her and Lisa sitting at the plane, first class. We're on Delta, allegedly. I don't know. She's we're on first class. Brittany, she's like, I walk into first class. I sit down, and who am I sitting in front of? Lisa and Meredith.
Where's my seat? Literally right in front of Lisa and Meredith.
She's like, we sit down, and all of a sudden, Meredith just goes on this tirade that I can hear. She's hitting my chair. She's spilling wine on me. She's talking so much shit, and it hurts my feelings.
And I'm just like, okay. If I put my shoes as a housewife, right? As nosy as a bitch could be on any type of housewife franchise, I'm surprised. And even they said it, even Brahman said, I said, somebody got common sense. But there's no footage. There's no nothing, no sound bites. Nobody thought, even Brittany, girl, you like to record? I'm like, there's no type of evidence of this bitch going ham.
On a commercial flight, and there's no cell phone footage. Meredith got zip tied to her chair. She got arrested by TSA on a permanent no-fly list. I would have taken a video if this happened on a flight I was on.
Nothing? Okay. Not saying she did it, but everybody's stories is leading to the fact that Meredith went ham. I'm not about to risk anything to get on that no-fly list. So, you got Lisa over here talking about, show the motherfucking TikTok. What's the TikTok? Show the fucking TikTok. Lisa said she said that, right? So, my whole thing is this. If it was me in the situation and he got flight attendants asking if I'm okay and these other things, I would have asked, like, excuse me, like, can I get another seat? Like, I can go back in, like, I'll go back into commercial. I'll go back in business class. I just need to get away. Like, I just feel like, did they pay for their own seats or did producers put her there? Because if so, then that's kind of trifling, right?
Meredith was completely out of her mind. We were all uncomfortable, and it just spiraled for hours. Is talking loud about Brittany so that the entire first class could hear.
You know, they touch down, they land, and they said Brittany was in a puddle of tears. I want to say I feel bad for Brittany, but I don't. Because Brittany, you put yourself in a situation where you thought it was cool to, this is the second time you've attacked her marriage, and you know that Meredith don't fuck with you. And it probably is already a sensitive topic to Meredith, where there's smoke, there's fire. So now you got what you got. Do I think it was right? No, I don't. But two things can be right. I don't think it was right. Do I give a fuck that her feelings were hurt? I don't. Honestly, I just don't. Like, Brittany, you put yourself in these situations where you want to be the girl to carry the bones. You want to be the girl to over here. You know, this is a real woman with a real life, with a real husband and real feelings. So you hurt those feelings, so she went off on you. I don't think it was right, but I just don't care. Unfortunately, I just don't. Like, Brittany, you do a little bit of a lot, and you expect to now want these tears. But they touched down. You know, everybody's talking about Meredith went the fuck off. Meredith just went crazy. And to be honest, this is the difference in friendship and in the friend that they are. Meredith, the friend that you are to Lisa is, I'm going to support you if I think you're right. Lisa is, I'm going to support you right or wrong. That's the difference of a friend that Meredith is to Lisa and Lisa is to Meredith. Meredith will support Lisa if she thinks she's right, and if she thinks she's wrong, she'll stay silent. And for Lisa, Lisa will support Meredith right or wrong. And that's the difference, right?
I will support you if I agree with you. If I don't agree with you, I'm not going to.
So now that the girls are over here meeting up, Mary's basically filling in Brahman. Brahman's like, I'm going to take another flight. I need just some TLC from these bitches. I don't got the time. So she's like, yeah, Meredith went crazy. She just went off on Brittany. Brahman's just like, damn, let me go look online. There's nobody reported this. Like, she didn't go get caught by TSA. No flight attendants. Like, you know.
Meredith goes completely off.
So Bronwyn and Whitney meet up. And this was actually a really interesting conversation because they talk about the whole situation with Brittany, Meredith, and Lisa, how Lisa was antagonizing and Brittany was just an input of tears, and, you know, they were the aggressor. She was just his lonely victim, you know. To be honest, I'm surprised that nobody actually switched seats with her. Since everybody was concerned, and I know that the girls are all sitting in different places, I'm surprised nobody said, hey, Brittany, let's switch seats. Heather, you asleep. Whitney, you heard it. Mary, you heard it. Angie, you heard it. Why don't you switch seats with her? Do what you know. First of all, Whitney, you like to do this whole, like, I don't know if it's alcohol or sleeping pills, but something's going on with Meredith. Like, you always want to do that. Now, if somebody did it to you, then it's just like all you got to do with Whitney is mention motherfucking Alibaba, and maybe she's going from 0 to a fucking 100, right? She's gonna go on the phone with Up and Adam or whoever else to start talking shit about this, that, and the third. Like, my girl, please. Like, you mentioned Alibaba, raging, bitch, please.
I don't know if it was fueled by alcohol, sleeping pills. I don't know what it was fueled by, but it's pure rage.
But Brahma's like, you know what? Who else need to be careful on planes? Todd. She's like, yes, I saw on Twitter people talking about Todd and was looking at girls on Instagram or whoever, blah, 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 blah. And my whole thing is like, it's like Eddie looking at booty models on Instagram. Okay, like, I can see, is he texting them? Is he like trying to get at them in the DMs? Like, or if he's just scrolling and looking? Like, I mean, I don't think it's that deep. However, something came up where Brahma felt uncomfortable. She was like, hey, you need to stay at a hotel because right now I just don't feel comfortable with you in the house. Go to your business trip. Let's get some space.
Well, Todd, he needed to stay at a hotel that night and leave for his business trip the next day or early. We needed some space from each other.
The conversation developed into having arrangements and agreements within the marriage. And they said that, you know, being that both their men are older, they naturally need to have communication within a marriage and being able to progress in life, where he's like, I'm young, I'm fun, I like to have a good time. And if I have an understanding with my husband, if I want to go out and do this or that, as long as we have communication, then it should be okay. Totally understand that. I have a friend of mine, not really going to go into details because that's her life, but I have a friend that, you know, have extracurricular activities, their partner that they're married to, I don't know if they know. They say that it's not open, but we went to the club and I see kissing and stuff. I'm just like, okay. And I asked the question, like, are y'all open? He's like, no. I'm like, okay, so are you cheating? They're like, no. Mind you, if they were, it's none of my business. Lips are sealed. That's my friend, so girl, none of my business. But I'm like, if you're not an open marriage and if you're not cheating, then what is it? And they're just like, you know, we do what we do. When they go off, I don't ask. When I go off, they don't ask, and we come back and have a good time. This is just how our relationship works. And I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, I guess it makes sense, you know? And mind you, me and that person has never done nothing that when I consider someone like a friend or a best friend, any type of sexual attraction, gone, right? Okay. So
Here's the thing.
Bronwyn, oh, I don't want to sound. I don't want to sound. Bronwyn, low key, I don't think anybody's looking at Todd like that besides you. Honestly, no shade. If Todd wants to bring another woman into the bedroom, I don't know who that woman would be because I don't know if she's exist. I don't think I've ever seen anyone online like
Y'all, Todd is so fucking sexy.
I've never seen it. Ever. The only person I said like Todd is so was you, Bronwyn. That's it. No shade, girl. That's no shade. That's your man. You got a man, girl. We out here single and destitute. You got a man, girl. but I don't think anybody's over here, girl, campaigning to get Todd. First of all, Todd had shown himself to be mean, grumpy, fill in the blanks. No, ma'am. Girl, that's your man. You got him, girl. Towards the end of the episode, Lisa and Heather meet up. And first of all, Heather, you're a better bitch than me. Because after 40 minutes of me waiting for someone that said they're supposed to be there in 5 minutes, I would have left. I would have paid my tab or had the producers pay the tab, and I would have left. Because, bitch, don't ever play with my fucking time. Like, I don't know who you think you were, because, you know, Sai the Silver thought she was going to do that. Sai came late. Came purposely late. Just for Jessel to be later. And didn't want to get upset. My girl, you got upset because I came later than you? You try to gag me, girl, and come late, girl? No, you're on my time. When it comes to me, bitch, I'm on no bitch's time. So, if you're 15 minutes late, 10 minutes late, 5 minutes late, girl, I get it. Traffic, crazy. She said it was snowing. Cool. However, communication, especially when you got there at 11:10 and Lisa didn't walk through the door until 12:14, and I would shave off 15 minutes just to get mic'd. Girl, fuck that. Like, Lisa, first of all, you would have pissed me off. One, that would have pissed me off. Two, when you walked through the door, you did not say excuse me to the lady that was over here at the door, and you walked straight in. Shit like that is rude and disrespectful. Lisa, you my girl. I have to call you out on that. That was so rude, so disrespectful. I don't like shit like that. Whenever I walk into a place and somebody's in my way, excuse me, and I would get past them. Like, common decency and common courtesy. You work in the hospitality business by having a lounge. You have to be hospitable. That is my number one pet peeve when it comes to any type of establishment that works for the public and serves the public. Hospitality has to be there. If it's not, it's just like so trash. I hate shit like that. I was just like, girl, who are you? Like, who do you think you are walking in? Just like, I have a friend. Like, girl, she was standing right there. You could have said, oh, excuse me. You walked through the door. We get it. You from the show. You that girl. Cool. But, like, don't be rude. That was rude. Like I said, Lisa's my girl. But that was rude as fuck. I don't like shit like that. Honestly. But they sit down, and I'm happy that Heather really checked Lisa. And I feel like this was very straightforward.
Why are you telling me a different version of what I saw? Because you said you were sleeping. So not at the end when you guys were yelling at me.
Where Heather was just like, how are you? Lisa was like, yeah, I'm fine. It's just a lot going on. She was like, yeah, Heather was just like, look, I just think the way that shit happened with Meredith and you, like, y'all tormented that girl. And Lisa was like, me? She was like, yeah, Brittany's upset with you. She was like, why is she upset with me? And my whole thing with Lisa is, I don't think that you're this absent-minded to think that you didn't play a part. Now, do I think that the girls are always going to love Lisa into some bullshit? Yes. Lisa is the easiest scapegoat in the show. That's why I always think that Lisa is not the true villain of the show, because the show and the girls paint her as the villain when I know there's somebody else behind the scenes twiddling that thumb. Lisa is just very much a bitch. Straightforward, right?
It's like Brittany took no accountability for the fact that she's trying to hurt Meredith and her family. It's like mental to me.
But when she's asking about Lisa's like, all I said was this, that you need to just show the fucking TikTok. Show the fucking TikTok. She was like, okay, so why did she get wine spilled on her? She was like, Meredith was doing all this with her hand and spilled the wine. She said it landed on Brittany. Lisa's like, it did not land on Brittany. It did not land on Brittany. And Heather was like, how are you going to fucking tell me? I was on the fucking plane. But you also said that you were asleep. And then you woke up towards the end. That's what you said. But let's keep going. One thing with Lisa is just like, at the end of the day, own it. Say, yeah, Meredith was going off. I didn't think that she thought I was a part of it. I can talk to Brittany and apologize. But I just did not know that was the whole thing, right? Heather already had a conversation with Brittany. And Brittany was just over here just like, I can't believe all this stuff happened. It's just so crazy. Like, we get it. White woman tears. But my whole thing with Lisa is like, you're trying to escape accountability. At the end of the day, you were there with her. Either you're going to stand with your friend and ride for your friend, or you're going to throw her under the bus.
Control Meredith. How am I going to control Meredith? You were 3 feet away from her. I woke up, I did.
Which one is it? And it looked like you're throwing her under the bus. But at the end of the episode, Mary and Meredith have a sit down. And I love the fact that Mary drunk and no chaser. She said, look, what happened was very unsettling. She was like, is everything okay? Meredith was like, yes, everything is okay. Mary was like, okay, but the way that you were going on that plane, everybody could hear you.
What is it that you think happened? Because I think there's a lot I don't think anything that happened. I was there.
And Meredith was just like, well, I don't know what you mean. Like, I don't think I was out of control. I was just talking to Lisa and talking to someone else. I didn't direct anything to Brittany. And then Mary was just like, everybody heard it. So the thing about it, just like, just because you weren't talking to Brittany still heard it because you were talking out loud. And then Mary just telling her, like, you know, at the end of the day, I was on the plane. How are you going to try and tell me what I seen and heard?
It went on. It went on for a minute. Oh, it was about 15 minutes. No, Meredith.
She was like, if I was over here being outrageous, Meredith said, if I was being outrageous or whatever, she said, I would have been taken off the plane with TSA on the no-fly list. All this stuff that y'all saying, y'all blowing it out of proportion. And I'm happy that Mary held her feet to the fire. Like, Meredith, like, at the end of the day, what you did was wrong. Now, when it comes to Brittany, do I care? Actually, I don't. But Meredith, what you did was wrong. Like, if this is true, because still, nobody decided to pull that phone out and just, you know. But if this is true, Meredith, what you did was wrong. Like, you berated this woman, antagonized, bashed this woman on this plane. And my whole thing is this. If you got the balls to over here say this behind my motherfucking back, literally, bitch, you should just say, Brittany, tapped on the shoulder. Brittany, at the end of the day, bitch, don't ever you should just ran it with her.
It concerns me because I want you to remember what happened. I do remember. And I feel like you don't. I heard it with my own ears.
But it's just like the passive aggressive, like being ultra aggressive. Like, if what they're saying is true, Meredith, you are in the wrong. No, it is what it is. So I'm really excited to see how this is going to transpire with the group and see basically what's going to happen between Brittany and Meredith. Now that Brittany's paid out to be, you know, this deer, this fawn, this damsel in distress, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I don't feel bad for Brittany just because you put yourself in this situation to talk about this woman's marriage and then surprise when people react to you. Two things can be right. Like I said, Meredith was in the wrong, but Brittany, you got what you got. And like I said, y'all might not agree with that rhetoric, but I always feel like, especially when it comes to me in certain situations, I'm a reactor. Mind y'all, when I'm over here doing stuff, I'm minding my fucking business. I'm so focused on so many different things, like especially when it comes to work and stuff like that. Like, I'm such a multitasker where I can focus on multiple things at once just to get it done. So it's just like, I'm not worried about you. Yet again, Salt Lake City's tens yet again. But y'all, let me know what you guys think. Put down in the comments. I love the interaction that y'all have. And also, thank you guys for making it to the end of the video. Please hype the video. Please like, comment, and thank you for all the love that you guys sent to my mom. She is doing much better. She just had her PT. She has some positive and negative comments from her trainer. Basically said that, you know, her bending has improved, but doing that we focus more on her bending and flexing, we stopped doing her, you know, stretching her leg out. So she did lose a little bit of straightening out. So her knee can't be straight for a long period of time. So now we have to work on the straightening her leg out plus the bending. But y'all, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Brian Keith, LG, Black Butte. Bet you didn't know we the Holy Trinity. Now let a God stop a dollar, break your head here. Step into the room and get up in the bed. It tastes sweet, that's cause I'm good. It tastes sour cause I'm better than the hood. Cause I get you hyper when I run out all around cause I excite you. Let me talk real quick. You can't even get with the shit. You wanna go toe to toe with my flow? The sour candy all I really asking for. Now I got to go. Got. Bye-bye.